All right, hello. My name is Andrea Shoemaker, and I am welcoming you to your Global Food Perspectives course for this summer semester. And I just want to, right out of the gate, just kind of chat about a couple of things so you know what to expect for the next 8 weeks. So I usually like to start out with a little bit about who I am. In an online class, it's a little bit more challenging because I never actually get to see you face to face. We just engage in conversation typically through email. Sometimes I'll set up Zoom calls or in-person meetings for students that would like that. But for the most part, everything that happens for us is in this online modality through Blackboard. So I think it's usually helpful to put a name with a face and maybe better know who your instructor is for the semester. So I usually tell people that I usually do 3 little facts about me, if you will. One of the things is I absolutely love my family. So I've been married to my husband now for about 13 years, and we have 2 little girls. We run a crazy, crazy household, try to keep up on the property that we have while doing a lot of the things that we love, which a lot of the things that we love happen over the summer. So I really love having a garden. I really love canning and preserving foods. I've really gotten into fermentation science, so making kombucha and sauerkraut and things like that. And then the other thing that we also love to do in the summer is go camping. And so a lot of weekends we spend out in the mountains enjoying little spots by the river or by hot springs or just in a wooded area by ourselves. So we also enjoy that. And then the last thing that is kind of fun about me, if you will, is I love to go out to Firebird and race. And so I have a little 1972 Chevy pickup with a small block in it. We go out and do club races with my family, and it's just a lot of fun to go out and spend the night drag racing. And so hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of who I am, kind of some weird hobbies, if you will. It's probably not something that you would traditionally see mixed together, but we like to have a lot of fun. So a little bit about me. You will be posting in your first discussion board a little bit about you to help me just kind of get to know you a little bit better. So I look forward to seeing those discussion boards here in the coming days. I like to remind students that when you are utilizing Blackboard, which is the way that we will be delivering all of the course material to you, that you should utilize Chrome or Firefox. So don't use Internet Explorer or primarily Internet Explorer, because you're going to find that the functionality isn't as robust as if you're using Chrome or Firefox. So please know that going into all of this. The way that I organize my course is through learning modules. And so when you go over on the left-hand side, you're going to notice that there is a link or a table of contents, and one of those content areas is a learning module. So you can click on those learning modules and they will open up as they become available to you throughout the semester. When you open up a learning module, you'll be presented with all of the materials that are necessary for that module's week, if you will. In the summer session, we take a 16-week course, which we would traditionally teach in the fall and spring semester, and we condense it down to 8 weeks. So essentially what you're doing is you're working through 2 modules a week. We want you to still achieve the same student learning outcomes, still get the same information, and do all of the same things that a student would do in the fall or spring semester. We're just doing it in half the time. So I always encourage students in this first week, make sure that you realize that this is a summer course and it's gonna feel like you're rocking and rolling like crazy. And I totally get the reality behind, like, halfway through the semester, you're probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is so exhausting, because she's just like vomiting all of this information on me and I just feel super, super overwhelmed. So know that it is a summer course, and we traditionally teach this course in a 16-week session, but because it's summer, it's in 8 weeks. And so it's gonna feel super, super fast paced, which means that you wanna make sure you view the course syllabus, you take a look at that course timeline that tells you the necessary due dates. The due dates in this course are on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. And the reason that I do that is because I know some students like to spend the weekend getting through their course materials, which is totally fine. So you can spend Saturday working on a module and you can spend Sunday working on a module. Some students prefer that flexibility to be able to work throughout the week and then have their weekends. And so that affords you the flexibility to also do that. I don't open up modules early. Primarily because this is a discussion-based course. So when we talk about global foods, we are going to be looking at several different food issues within primarily agriculture, but really just food insecurity, how food arrives to your plate, and what are those issues that maybe as consumers we should or maybe we shouldn't be concerned about. The thing that I love about this class is it is a global perspective course, which means that my role as your instructor is to present you with both sides of the issue. So I try to give you information that supports the topic that we're talking about, and then I also try to give you information that rejects the topic that we're covering. And the reason that I do that is because I want you to be able to view both sides of the issue before you actually formulate how you now feel about that food issue. The thing that I stress with students is after you view a learning module and you become exposed to that food issue, there is no right or wrong answer. So when we start talking about things like organic farming, there's going to be people that feel really strongly about organic farming and trying to support the organic corporations potentially, or local organic farmers within the community. And the reasons why they do that are usually because they don't believe in the use of pesticides, herbicides. They don't believe in maybe what's happening with climate change and global warming and how food arrives at your plate. On the flip side, there's people who think organic farming is a racket, right? They may not be using herbicides and pesticides, but organic has become this explosive business where when you go to the grocery store, you're paying a lot more for something with an organic label. And some consumers are asking themselves, does that label actually mean what I think that label means? So in the end, I'm not going to tell you that you should or shouldn't believe in organic farming. Ultimately, you're going to formulate your thoughts and your convictions, if you will, about how you feel about that food issue. And then my biggest takeaway from all of this is that you can communicate to myself and your peers why you feel the way that you feel. So I don't open up modules early because I really want to foster that discussion. I really want to take the time moving through those modules and staying on track with whatever topic we're covering in that moment. So please know due dates are on Wednesdays by midnight and Saturdays by midnight. The modules will open and close as they become available for you. So you just want to make sure that you have that schedule so that you know how best to keep on track. The other thing within the module is you're going to find all of the information that you need. So there's usually a welcome message. There's also a checklist to help keep you on track. And then any information that you need for that specific topic is embedded within the learning module. So you can go through and access all of that information. Every module, you will be required to complete a discussion board. And this really is my way of verifying synthesis of information. Your discussion boards are that you have to post first before you can access your peers' responses. So please know that you do have to create that thread first. You want to make sure you follow whatever guidelines are required for that discussion board. And then you also need to know that you have to respond to at least 3 of your peers. And you also need to know that in order to get full credit for those responses, they need to actually be responses. Full responses that aren't just like, great, I love that you support GMOs now. How awesome are you? You actually want to talk about why you agree with that. What were the things that your classmates said that made you feel that you agree or disagree? And don't be afraid to challenge your classmates as well. If you don't agree with their viewpoint, talk about why you don't agree with it. Just make sure that you're super respectful in that process because we want to obviously maintain an environment where people feel like their views and opinions are welcome. Something that is maybe a little bit confusing right out of the gate is we do a weekly current event. This is also a discussion board and it's due weekly. So current events will always be due on Saturday, but they run similar to a discussion board. I'll open them Saturday at midnight for that week. So you'll have a week to contribute to your weekly current event. You want to make sure you find a current event that's actually valuable and valid, right? So cite your sources, make sure that you're finding information that seems legitimate. Don't just go out to BuzzFeed or on your friend's Facebook like social feed and pull a current event from that. Like go out and utilize some of the websites that I provide you in the announcement to find a current event that actually is valuable. Current events, again, you've got some criteria here for what needs to be posted, and then you just want to make sure that you post your initial current event with the criteria here, and then you come back and again respond to at least 3 of your peers with a thoughtful response centered around that current event. You can access both of those within the learning module, but you'll also notice over on the left-hand side there is a link right here that says discussion boards for your food issues and your current events. So you have access to both of those things within this little tab over here on the side. The other last little things that I will leave you, make sure you check your grade book often. I really try to stay on top of grades, and so make sure that you're checking your grade center and maximizing the points that you can for the semester. Remember to look at that syllabus and write down or keep that course timeline somewhere that you have that reminder of what needs to happen on a weekly basis, because this class moves fast in the summer. And once you start falling behind, it does make it really hard to catch up or dive back in because the summer session is so tight. As we move throughout the course, I'll give you a weekly video announcement talking about what's out there. I'll give you information related to your signature assignment as we get closer to that. And just touch base with you throughout the semester. So be on the lookout for that as well. I wish you all the best of the luck in this summer session. I really do mean it when I say if you have questions, comments, concerns, you're needing anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. Because of the COVID-19 situation, usually the best way to reach out to me is email. We can certainly schedule an appointment, but those appointments will happen over Zoom because we won't be meeting face to face. So please reach out if you need help. Best of luck to you this semester. I look forward to getting to know all of you, and I will be seeing you all online very, very soon.